Okay, class. Well, it is a new day, a new week, February 8th through the 13th, and this week is about layout. And so I want you to take a look at some of the posters that are listed here for some poster inspiration, because your next assignment is to create a graphic design project. And it could be a poster or a flyer, but I think most of you are choosing posters, depending on what you choose. Anyway, so there's poster inspiration. Take a look at some of those things. Think about some of the posters that you might want to mimic as far as layout goes. I don't want it to be just a full copy over, but maybe you want to put some elements in the same locations as these posters that you can look at. And then also read those chapters. Chapter 3, Works Every Time Layout, and Chapter 4, Layout Sins, because in the assignment you want to make sure that you are not committing any of those layout sins that are listed in the book. So, of course, we're learning about layout. We're learning about ways to lay out things for graphic design project. And then here under the discussion is to post a preliminary layout storyboard for your graphic design project and also include a possible picture that you are thinking of including in your graphic design project. So you're going to include a brief explanation of the main idea of your poster, the visual focal point, and how you'll feature balance and unity in your poster. And this is an opportunity for you to adjust your poster based on feedback of other students. So I do encourage you to do this by Wednesday. We have a very small class. And I've volunteered to go ahead and teach this class even though it's not part of my load or anything. And so I do encourage you to post early in the week so that you can get some feedback from other people about your poster and how you can improve it. And I'll be looking on that discussion board as well this week. And then finally, you'll be installing and learning Inkscape. And Inkscape is just a wonderful tool for graphic design of posters and flyers. And so you can use this tool and create a poster. I've created a couple of sample posters as videos that show you how to do this, and I've also created or linked you to some important information on how to use Inkscape. In order to install Inkscape, though, you'll want to go to inkscape.org, as the link implies. And by the way, links have had a hard time in this class, I've realized recently. And so I want to let you know that I've gone through and made sure that the links are working. But if you do find one that's not working, that you can't just click on and go to the website, let me know. That way I can just send me an email and let me know, and I can make sure to fix those. I think what happened is there was an update in D2L, and this update caused some problems with the links not linking the way that they had originally been set up to link. Okay, so anyway, I clicked on this link to go to Inkscape, and I can choose right here, download a current stable version. And then when I click to download, it takes me to the page. It says, which one do you want? Well, I'm running Windows. I think I'm running 64-bit. You want to choose the installer for your version of whatever you're running, whether it's Mac OS 10 or Windows. And then download that file and just run it. Once it's finished downloading, it's pretty quick download. And then I can click on it and run it. And this will help me to install Inkscape. Now I believe I already have Inkscape installed, but I'll go ahead and just install this one so I know I have the latest version by accepting the terms and hitting next. And I'll just choose typical for my installation this time. And here it goes. It says, please wait while the setup wizard installs Inkscape. So that installs it. Once it's installed, it will be in my folder here, in my start folder. It'll be an option right here or under all programs so that I can get that installing. Okay, so let's take a look at the assignment a little bit here. That comes up next week. It's not due until next week. The 20th of February is the last day you can submit that. This graphic design project. And I just want to introduce you to this a little bit too. I think that you might have already looked at it, but this is an opportunity for me to go through it in a video format for this semester. We'll check back on that Inkscape, see if it's installing yet. It seems like my computer's running way too slow for its own good these days, so hopefully that will not be the case on this video, but we'll see. Okay, so we have this graphic design project up finally. And for this project, you must create a well-designed poster or flyer, and it must include graphic and text elements. The poster or flyer must have a limited color scheme and use limited fonts while making good use of spacing. So limited color scheme means that you're going to choose a color scheme and stick to that. You're not going to use every color in the world, but you're going to try to pick a scheme and stick to that. And also limited fonts is the same type of idea. You'll only use a few fonts, maybe one or two is all. And then all elements of the poster must be copyright free, meaning released under a Creative Commons license and or created by you. Now in the previous week we had a link to my wiki which included copyright free media, but that link was not working unfortunately, and so I have updated that now, and you can go to copyright free media on my wiki now, and so it is working now. Let's see, this poster must also take advantage of some elements of design, including some of the following: space, line, shape, form, size, scale, color, texture, and value. And it must feature some of the principles. Must have a good focal point, make use of balance, and must feature unity. The poster may also include the principles of contrast, movement, and rhythm. Finally, the poster must not commit any of the 13 layout sins featured in the textbook, Chapter 4. So that's the poster, or flyer. And the poster, so it says, so this is how I grade it, whether it's a poster or a flyer. It has graphic text elements, makes use of a limited color scheme, takes advantage of some elements of design. Poster has a strong focal point, makes appropriate use of the principle of balance, makes appropriate use of the principle of unity, makes the use of other principles of design if applicable, and does not commit any of the 13 layout sins, and that's how you'll be graded on this project. So it's really an opportunity to work on your layout skills and to apply what you're learning in your book readings and also in your technology skills to create this nice poster or flyer like it says. So that's the assignment, and it looks like Inkscape has completed installing. So I click finish on that, and I can find that under all programs here. I should be able to find Inkscape in my list of programs right there. And so you'll want to install Inkscape, and you'll want to get that going so that you can learn how to arrange elements of your poster. So here's Inkscape up, and it shows you the interface. You can make it larger. You have a basic area that you can draw. You can change the document properties to make that a different size if you want to. And there's a lot you can do, but you can just watch those videos for how to do that assignment using Inkscape. Now if you have another program that's installed on your computer like Adobe Illustrator, it's okay to use that as well for this assignment. But just make sure that you can include all of those different graphic elements that are required as part of the project. Now there is some difficulty with grading these kinds of projects. There's some subjectivity always with this kind of a thing. So I wanted to show you just a few of the projects that students did in the past that are pretty good. And this is one here, this picture, which life you want. Of course the grammatic, there's a grammatical error. Which life do you want? It should be. But if you look at the design, it's quite a nice design actually. There's good balance. There is some interesting pictures on there. You've got an interesting theme. And I like the faded in background as well. It's kind of like a nice simple minimalist poster. And so this one did very well in the grading from last time I taught this class. And then let's take a look and see if another one that I have is ready here. And this one as well is a nice design that I received as well from a student. It's got some nice text elements and a good background picture, and just a nice overall message about autism. So those are a couple of examples that you can maybe use to think about what you want to create in this poster's assignment as a poster or a flyer. So that's an intro to this week. Of course, those posters or flyers are not due until next week, but you'll need to prepare to create them during this week, and of course you'll be posting about it on the discussion board this week. So Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you later.